Alright, what's up, guys? So, there is a video game coming out called Unrecord. It's either Unrecord or Unrecord. I don't know, but we're gonna cross that bridge at some point. But, nah, man, no, there's this game coming out, and yeah, a lot of people have been criticizing the game over how realistic it looks. I understand, I get that. I'm not trying to take that away from anybody, but. Alright, there is a but. I feel like I need to, kind of say some things defending the game. Now, one thing that I did see on social media was that parents have their concerns over their kids playing that game. And I sit down and I think about it. I'm like, I remember when I was a kid and what games was coming out. My parents was right there telling me it didn't matter how realistic the game looked or how fictional the game looked. Even it came with movies, music, video games, whatever it is that we were watching where it has some sort of violence going on, they made sure to tell me you cannot do that stuff in real life. They're doing it in the movies because it looks cool. Yeah, if you want to be an actor, okay. But to actually rob a bank, shoot 100 people, flip a car over, yeah, you can't do that type of stuff. Like that, no, there's consequences behind that. It's either death or get sentenced to prison for the rest of your life. Those is literally the words, or at least like some of the words from my parents. But no, like jokes aside, they would tell me, like, especially when I was playing games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, oh, they were constantly telling me that the stuff in that game, you can't do that in real life. And they told, and it was like, bruh, anytime they seen me playing the game, they'd probably stand there and watch for a little bit, and they were like, oh, that's crazy, oh, that's cool, oh, that's cool, you could do that. But they would make sure at some point to tell me, you can't do that stuff in real life, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know, you told me that 100 times already, but it stuck with me. Then as I got older, like, let's say, okay, high school years, I feel like, your high school years, you're a little bit more open to the world, like, you're wanting to do more things. It wasn't like when you were a kid playing rated them games, you couldn't really do a whole lot. But then as you get older, and then there's like street racing games that I'm playing, Grand Theft Auto. What are some other crazy games out? Like, yeah, there was a lot of different crazy games I was playing, Call of Duty and stuff. And it didn't even have them. Like, I just remembered what my parents told me, and I'm like, yeah, I was playing like all those different games growing up. And then I'm like, I know it's gonna get to a point where I have kids myself. And, they're going to most likely, if they see me playing video games, they're going to want to play video games too. And I'm going to be sure to tell them, just like how my parents told me, the stuff that you're doing in this game, you cannot do that in real life. So I just think that that's what people need to understand, or the parents that have concerns. You gotta talk with your kids. You gotta communicate with them. If you don't communicate with them, then yeah, of course, yeah, they're gonna grow up, do a bunch of crazy things. But I'm just tired of hearing that conversation where people are like, oh, we gotta blame video games for somebody with a mental illness, and then yeah, they go up and shoot up a place. I'm like, no, yeah, video games might have been like one of the nails in the coffin, but it wasn't all the nails in the coffin. No, that person is just insane. They got something going on with them that should have been handled when they were a kid. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, you gotta be there more for your kids. You gotta talk with them more, with them more, be there with them more, understand them, all that stuff. If they need help, get them the help that they need, but just be there for your kids, okay? And that's because I'm like, look, this game that's coming out, they ain't no different than any other realistic, because I'm like, what, Call of Duty got a realistic look to it. What's the other cop game? It ain't got like a first person or like the body cam video, but there's this other cop game called Ready or Not. There's other games out there where they got like a very realistic look, sound, and I'm like, bruh, I mean, those games exist too. Why is it all of a sudden this game comes out and everybody got an issue with it? Then on top of that, the thing is this, with this game, it's not even like you're playing as a bad person. Now, there have been games out there that I've seen where they have been banned. There's this one game, I remember, I think it was a video that I reacted to, or it was just overall just seeing like games that were banned. But no, there was this one game that was banned where it like you're literally playing as a mass murderer. Like you're just going around, like that was the missions where you're just going around shooting and killing people. So yeah, if you have it where there's like the higher ups, I guess, in the video game world where they can get games like that banned, then okay, cool. But if not, then it's like, yeah, you as a parent, you got to talk with your kid and let your kid know, like, hey, those things that you're doing in that game, whether it's Fortnite, whether it's whatever, Forza, it's like, yeah, you know, you can't, like, all right, so yeah, let's say it's Forza. You can't crash into a car, flip your car a bunch of different times, and then, you know, oh, it'll just spawn back, and then, yeah, you know, you could drive off. No, there's consequences if you flip a car a bunch of different times. You ain't gonna be able to just drive off. No, you're gonna have to stand there, wait, cops gonna show up, they see it's your fault. Now you got a court date, you might have to go to jail, prison, all that stuff. I know you ain't gonna last in there. So yeah, it's like you gotta, it's communication. Communication is key. I have said this in other videos, podcast episodes. I have made tweets about it, posts everywhere possible. Communication is key. You gotta talk with your kids, all right? So, because no, like, I remember, like, one of my earliest memories of playing, like, rated M games, and it was when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was coming out. And so I think, yeah, before that, never played a Grand Theft Auto game, hadn't heard about Grand Theft Auto. I think it might have been the year prior or a couple of years prior. I had just got a PlayStation 2. So I didn't really know too much about games. I just only knew about, like, games if, maybe if I, like, because I know there was, like, these, like, newspapers I remember we would get, and there was these, like, Best Buy catalogs, and I guess if I saw a video game in there, and I think for the most part they only had, like, you know, kid games and stuff, but yeah, if I saw a game in there, or if I went to like Target or whatever and stuff, yeah, you know, I'd see games, or actually no, if my uncle, because my uncle was really into video games at that time too. And yeah, you know, so those were like my go-to spots. But then also another spot was my school. And I think it was friends at my school that told me about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And I was like, I gotta see about that game when it comes out and stuff. I think that's what it was. One of my friends, he brought the game to school as if he can play, but he was just showing us that he got the game. And I'm like, what's that? He was telling me about it, and I'm like, hey, yo, this game looks fun. So I remember me and my mom, we were at Target. I saw I saw it in GameStops. Yeah, GameStops was inside the Target. But no, I saw Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I was like, I gotta get that game. I was like, I have to. Asked my mom, she said no, because at the time video games were too expensive, and I'm like, bro, they went like $20 up in prices now. I'm like, there ain't that. I'm like, nah, bro, I wish video games cost $49.99 or $19.99 like how it did back then. But anyways, so it was crazy because I really wanted that game, and then of course I was disappointed because I couldn't get it. So, but I do remember my mom, she did get me Grand Theft Auto 3, and then it was crazy that same day my dad got me Vice Cities. So I think my dad had heard about how crazy San Andreas was, and he was telling me like, yeah, I don't know about, you getting that game. It's a little bit too much and things, it's like you're a kid, and it's like playing a game like that might have like an effect on you and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's not gonna have an effect on me. I'm like, bro, I just want to play a game. I just want to have fun. So it was later on that Christmas, though. It was either him or my mom. Somebody had got me Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And I think, yeah, there was a little part of my dad. He was a little mad because he was probably thinking like, okay, maybe he might not. Maybe he might forget the game. Maybe he might, And I was like, no, when I was opening that game up, I was happy. I was excited. But my dad was right there to tell me like, hey, look, the stuff that you doing in that game, you can't do that in real life, all right? And I'm like, this was at a point in time when games didn't look realistic. They didn't have like the visual effects that they have now. This is back then. Like, if you go watch, if you've never seen video footage of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, go watch. I got gameplay videos of it myself on this channel. So I'm saying it's like if I was like grew up in that era of gaming, and and I think that's like why it's like if your parents are there in your life telling you the rights and the wrong, you're not gonna grow up crazy. Maybe just if you do grow up crazy, then I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, it's like it's just I feel like that if a parent is there talking to you and guiding you, I don't see how playing this game would be bad for you and stuff. And like I said, it's a cop game, so like you're killing bad guys, and I'm not trying to like justify, like, if you have your issues with this game, I'm not gonna take that away from you. You got the issues with this game. If you don't want your kids playing it, that is 100% your choice. I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your kids. I'm not trying to guide you, whatever, but I'm just saying, I guess like more so to defend this game. Yeah, it's a game where I'm like, look, I've seen far more worse. I have played far more worse. This is a game where when it does come out, I will play it. I will test it out myself. if it does have an effect on me, then yeah, I'm gonna stop playing it. There's games out there where they've had an effect on me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna play this. I'm like, nah, this ain't right. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, leave it alone. But anyways, but yeah, I just think people, it's like, they just need to lighten up a little bit. I think that's kind of messed up to the developer, where it's like, bruh, his game's getting canceled and it hasn't even came out yet. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's, it's kind of whoever the developer is. I'm like, hey, bruh, just, keep going at it. If you gotta change some things, change it. But it's like, don't give up on your dreams, because, some people are criticizing it and stuff. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.